Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and this is another series of Why Seam Wednesday. Yay! Why Seam Wednesday. This one is called Goblet of Stars, and I have been playing around with this one for a while, so I hope you guys will like this one. It's kind of a fun, quick and easy, but it does have a lot of Y seams, so it'll help us master our Y seams. It'll be good. It'll be great. But first, let's get to our shout out. Jennifer at Sew a Story is our shout out today. She's doing some fun, cute things over on her channel. You guys got to go check her out. Now, her YouTube link is going to be in our show notes below. You have to get into those show notes because everything I talk about now is in those show notes, and it's very important that you go check all of that out. So she's in her show notes, as well as I speak for free. Now, if you guys want to get a hold of me for speaking engagements or whatever, you can go through either through the Facebook group or you can go through email. Now, I prefer the Facebook group because it's just, I'm faster at replying to them. But if, you know, like if you don't have a Facebook account, well, I mean, and I do speak for free to quilt guilds and quilting groups. I talk about elements of design, sewing with fabric scraps, and making charity quilts. So if that's kind of what you're into and your group's looking for somebody to speak, put my name forward. I'd be happy to try and accommodate them the best I can as to putting them into my calendar. The other thing, that we do have a Facebook group and it's growing rapidly. We're warm and welcome. We just appointed a bunch, when we're filming this, we've just appointed a bunch of new admins. So there's all sorts of people there to help you out and, you know, guide you around. There's so many community chats now. We're just having so much fun in there. There is a virtual sewing room under Discord, and the ladies that gather in there, or the people that gather in there, are just having a great time. And that's for the Facebook group members only. The Zoom sew dates are also in those show notes below, so you can list them out from now until the end of December. I haven't looked at 2025 yet, so when I do, we'll start adding more dates. So, you know, that's something to put into your calendar as well if you want to come join us and sew with us. Now, I try and bring something that's a little easier for me to do so that I get a chance to talk with everybody. But sometimes I don't get a chance to get a word in, but it's okay. We're all having a good time, right? Share, like, and subscribe with your friends and other groups and other quilters. I mean, we would love to get the word out that we're giving away patterns for free and that we talk for free. I mean, this is what this is all about. Also, lastly, the Chaos Sew Along is coming. Now, I have reworked that block, so it's kind of it's going to be a beautiful little block and a great scrap buster. And the subunits, the smallest subunits are 4.5 inches square unfinished and 4.5 by 8.5 unfinished. So, you know, those are nice sizes, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to do this sew along coming up. And I'm kind of looking forward to getting rid of some of my odds and sods scraps. And like I say, it'll be a good one to use up stuff. And what else have we got? I think that's it. So come on in. Let's get to the sewing. Okay, so I made all my templates and I did all my cutting. And this one square here is a 2.75 inch square if you don't want to make a template, right? So now there's a couple of different ways we can approach this. I think I'm going to sew all the little bits on first because there's lots of little bits. So just get this started. Okay. And yeah, get the little bits sewn together because that's not the hardest part. But with these, when you're doing Y seams, you gotta think about them a little differently. Now, I cut all my triangles with the easy angle ruler. So, because I knew what I had to do, right? So it was kind of like, okay, we get this little bit here. And then we start laying it back out. Yeah. Yeah, this one was fun drafting it out. I'm playing with this one for a while. And I'm just going to trim off that little dog ear there just because it annoys me is how it sticks out. And, okay. Another little dog ear that can go. There, and I'm just finger pressing for now. There we go. And the next one should be, yeah, this. Now, okay. There we go. Yeah. There, and I'm just going to open this up just like so, because this is the bottom, the base of the goblet. Okay. There. Now, there are several ways of how to attack this part here. Either we can sew all of these outer pieces together because they have to go a certain way. The straight of grain along this is this way and this way, right? So maybe that would be the next best thing to do, is to do this, do the straight of grain stuff. And you're lining up with those little edges. There's a reason why those little edges are there on your template. And I know, and some of you are like, it just looks strange. Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. And let's see this one. Okay. There. Take your time lining that up. Go. Now, make sure that's the way we want it to go. Okay, just fold out and pull off all the weird strings that are around. Okay, now there is a line-up line you have here and here, just at where you turn your corners. Okay, you're going to work at. Okay, right there. Okay. Why does that not look right? Did I sew this on the... See, now look what I did. I sewed that the wrong way. Right? This shouldn't be this way. Something went awry. So I am going to check to see what I did. Because... well, I don't know. Wait a minute. Did something really go awry? Maybe it did. Because this one is much longer. Well, let's see. I'm going to see this piece first. Let's get this off the... Here, I know how to get it off. Hang on. Hang on. Let's get the bottom of the goblet. So let me figure out what I've done here, because this has gotta be just like this, right? So this is, well, I'll be, and this is the straight of grain. This is straight of grain. Yeah, all of this is straight of grain. Let me figure this out, because there's a great big issue here. Let me cut for now, and then I'm going to go check my templates to see whether or not my templates are wrong, or whether the piece is wrong, or I've cut the piece wrong, because that could happen too. So let me go check that first, okay? And we'll be right back. Okay, so what I did is I checked my templates and I checked my pieces. Yes, they were cut right. I was sewing this one onto the wrong side. I need to sew the shorter side to this side here, right? So basically I put the piece in the wrong place, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it again. And normally I would show you how I stitch rip, but because this was such, both pieces are on a bias, it's very delicate work, because you cannot stretch your piece. It's like if you stretch your piece even a bit, it's bad, right? So I didn't want to be taping this. Oh, please work. Oh, please, please, please. So I thought, no, we better not do it that way. We're going to do just this, and it'll be fine. I know. I'm just going to run some leader enders through. I'm doing blue crumb carnage while we're doing this. So, and okay. get this off. There we go. So now, there, that lays there. And this is going to go over just like so. Okay. And now we're going to put the other piece on. And we're going to line this up the best we can too. I sew with my stitches on the tight side, like really, and that is just what I'm able to do with my Singer 301A. So that's probably a good thing that I can do that, but at the same time it's like, oh dear, I can't do this. Anyways, I'm just going to put some more leader enders through. I'm working on Blue Crumb Carnage so I can get that one started and filmed for you guys. And the Crumb Carnages are going to take a lot longer than I thought they would, but it's okay. It's an ongoing process. All right, so next up, we have choices to make. Either we can sew these two together here and then do a Y seam and put this unit together, or we can put one side on and then put the other side on and do this as a Y seam. It doesn't matter. Right? Really, it's truly, honest to God, does not matter. So if you want, you could do, I think I'm going to do this though, because it is just, you know, it's kind of that whole semantics of which one is easier. Well, they're kind of the same, you know. And a lot of people think, oh, well, you got to do the smaller angle first, and you got to do this. You got no. No, you don't. It's all good. Why is that looking wrong? Okay, let's do it this way. There we go. And get another piece to run through. There we go. Now these are going to be fun little blocks, the crumb blocks when I'm done. And hopefully I'll make something very eclectic with it. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with blue yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And there. Now, I'm going to press these open because I know that's where my first Y seam is, right? So I'm pressing open. I am not pressing to the side. I'm pressing open. There. And again. And there. Just like that. Okay, so grab one. Let's start our engines on this. Okay, now you take it and line it up. Those little divots are there to help. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way down. And yes, you can put a needle in at your 1/4 inch down, right in the seam. Right in the seam. Why won't this needle go through this fabric? Oh, there it is. And then 1/4 inch in from both sides, like this way and this way, and it would intersect right there. I should have probably pinned it first, but we forgot. Oh well, that's okay. And now I'm just gonna sew, making sure I don't twist that seam here that runs. And there we go. And lift that up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly hand crank a little bit right to where that needle is and pop it down. Perfect. Perfect. One of my friends was telling me she's tried this method and she just cannot get it to work come, you know, high water or flood or what. She just cannot get it to work. And it's a matter of my feet. I'll show you here in a sec. My feed dogs are exactly in the right spot. Right? And that's going to make all the difference in the world. Okay, now, and sometimes you have to wiggle and jiggle and get this, you know, a little happier, you know, get it in the right spot so it doesn't make a funny mark or puff. And you have to kind of, you know, maneuver it a bit, and all of a sudden it just magically falls in place and you're like, oh, okay, let's sew. Okay, there we go. go. And let's get that off so you can see where this one is perfectly in place. Here. There, now we're just going to push this out away from the, there's a little hair thing there. So now, thread, I mean. So now we're just going to push this out into place. And what happened in the back, it kind of wobbled a bit on the seam. So you can kind of just gently pull the seam a bit further apart and it will lie flat. Ooh, just like that. Okay, so that's one. Let's get the other one done. And no, it's not this way, it's this way. The orange goes first. There we go. Take your time, line it up, those little divot. When you're making your templates, make sure you make those little divots. Not only do they help you save on fabric that you need. Oh, I should have did it again. Not only it helps you line up, right? So that's really kind of important when you're doing these, is that you have a good place to line up. Okay. Here we go. As we get closer to that pin, I raise my foot and do a few stitches under. And we're coming up to that needle. Perfect! I even touched the needle. I even touched the needle with my pin. Okay, and we're just going to turn this so this goes all the way around, just like that. And we're going to line up this bottom edge, and we're going to take those divot marks and line them up best we can and pin in place. And you just want to take a little bite there. And now we're going to try and get this all worked up. Worked out correctly, and there we go. Now, if you find one piece is bigger, you know, bigger than the other, remember Bob, bigger on the bottom, bias on the bottom. You know, that's how we're sewing these, is the bias is on the bottom. And it's, you know, you're going to have a little bit more forgiveness in your block. So again, we've got that little thing where my seam has to be opened a bit, right? And then it goes all the way through nice and neat here. And we just finger press it in place and we're good to go. Now, the last Y seam is here, right? So we're just going to put this together, just like so, and like so. Now I'm going to, before we get it under the needle, I'm going to match these ends so that they perfectly line up, right? So you can do that just by folding it back and making sure, because they're both pressed open now, right? So you want them to stay open and you want them to line up. Okay, so here we go. There we go. So we got that one piece done. Nice. Yeah, I harvested a bunch of 2-inch by 3.5-inch rectangles from my blue bin because I had bigger pieces in there. And I thought, okay, so here we are. This is the top of the star on top of the goblet. So I'm just going to finger press this open. Right, so here we go. Now, Okay, this is going to go like that. And you're going to take your time, line up your square edges, right? Okay. Okay, yeah. Now this square is 2 3/4 of an inch square. And you're going to go right to where that seam meets. And I didn't pin it, but that's okay. Perfect. You're going to drop your needle right in that what cleavage, I guess you'd call it, right? And there we go. Let's get this all discombobulated. Did it suddenly line up on me? Yes, it did. Well, let's sew it then. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And with that, we are done. Now because this is open, oh yeah, that's what happened. This one open, so we're gonna just push this way, away from the dark, right? Because that way it'll lie nice and flat. Okay, so there we are. So far, so good, right? Now we're gonna put this. Now, I just took a little bit of time here to line this up, give it a pinch, because you're going to pinch the center, right? And you want that center divot there that you just made with your nail to match the center of the goblet. That's one of your lines that you sew to. Okay, there. And you put the bias on the bottom, right? None of this is bias, actually, by this time. So, there you go. Just lay it out flat as you can. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to lay this out, and we are going to press this away from all of the center, because there's a lot of fabric right here on this side of that block. There's a lot, right? There's a lot going on. Now we've distributed it the best we can, but essentially that's what we've done. Now this essentially now sews into a 4-patch, right? Because you lay this over and you line it up on the top and the side. It's a good, 90-degree angle. There we go. And you lay this out, match up everything. There we go. Oh, it's fun picking colors for this one. Sometimes I have little mental blocks as to what color is going to go well with what, and I thought, okay, let's pick beige, let's pick this, let's pick that. And then when I went for the orange, I was like, I don't understand what orange I need. Oh, I forgot to web it. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. So we're just going to sew this together here real quick, right? So the base of our goblet gets together. There we go. And I forgot to do it. Oh well. That's okay. I got so excited by doing leader and enders. Okay, so because this seam is going this way, I want this one to go the other way. Right? So they'll nest. And I'm just going to put this board off to the side. I'm going to take my time, line this all up again. And I want to make sure that nests. So there it is. There. It's nested well. And we're just going to line up the base, or the top of the... Okay, let me just lay this all out. And now I'm going to give it a quick sewing. Okay. And there we are. We are done. We are finished. So let me just show you the back of the block so you get an idea of the pressing. So sometimes your pressing will make or break your block, right? So, and I'm just going to give this a quick little finger press out. There we go. There we go, just like that. So, you see I twisted one open. I'm just going to clip this there, just like that. No, it does not weaken the seam, and by the time you quilt it into something, it'll be fine. So these basically got pressed out. The little, you know, the star thing. This got pressed away. These ones got pressed in, so, and everything else here is like pressed open, except for when we start assembling the goblet, we're pressing out and pressing down and all the rest of this stuff. Now you could try and swirl this seam, but I don't imagine it's not going to work really well. So here's the only really bulky bit, and right here, right? So if I twirled my seam, it would be good, but then I would have a kinked, like if I did this, this would be all of a sudden twisted. So I'd rather have a little bit more bulk in one tiny little area than a twisted seam. Okay, so let me give this a good press and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here we are, Goblet of Stars. Now this is perfect for one that you want on point, but I mean you could put it at an angle in a regular quilt. If you're doing a sampler quilt, you could also lay it out like with 4 of them all the same, where all the goblet bases are pointing towards the center, and you have kind of a interesting little twist. I can't even remember where I saw this one or some variation of it, and I thought, well, I could do my own Goblet of Stars, and we could have a little bit of fun with it and doing some odd piecing. Yes, the outer edge, straight of grain, please. I know sometimes we're trying to use up scraps, and the straight of grain just works so much nicely. And the way the pieces fit together on these points, you have a good 1/4 inch to, you know, sew to your next block. So I do hope you give this one a try. It was lots of fun to come up with this for you. And I hope you absolutely have an amazing week ahead and life is treating you grand. Okay, you guys take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, you know, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, you know, sometimes things don't work out as best they should, and sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out, and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!